Learn that setbacks aren't interruptions. They're instructions. Instructions guide correction. Correction prevents repetition. Repetition without awareness creates stagnation. Stagnation used to frustrate you. Now you analyze it. Analysis reveals patterns. Patterns expose weaknesses. Weaknesses suggest improvement. Improvement requires patience. Patience develops resilience. Resilience reduces fear of failure. You breathe and apply lessons. Then you continue forward.
You've become aware of your inner dialogue. Words shape perception. Perception shapes effort. Effort shapes results. You corrected the tone inside your head, not with fake positivity, with balanced honesty. Balanced thinking reduces anxiety. Anxiety no longer dictates pace. Pace feels controlled now. Execution reinforces belief. Belief supports resilience. You breathe and think clearly. You continue confidently.
You've stopped announcing your plans. Talking felt productive, but it wasn't. Silence made you sharper. Sharper thinking improved execution. Execution replaced imagination. Imagination once felt safer. Now action feels stronger. You don't need hype anymore. You need results. Results require patience. Patience requires emotional control. Emotional control changes your reactions. You pause more often. Breathing slows the impulse. You move with intention.
The time is now. The time is now to express and for people to believe in themselves. The time is now for it to be okay to be great. People in this world shun people for being great, for being a bright color, for standing out. But the time is now to be okay to be the greatest you.
Is that it includes the forebrain, so you can tell yourself the effort part is the good part. I know it's painful. I know this doesn't feel good, but I'm focused on this. I'm going to start to access the reward. When we focus only on the trophy, only on the grade, only on the win, you undermine that entire process. Is without question the most powerful aspect of dopamine and our biology of dopamine. And the beautiful thing is it's accessible to all of us.
This is like confession and atonement. It's the proper way to think about it, is you can think about what it is that you did wrong or insufficiently that led to the collapse of your plan. Right? So that's the first investigation, right? And I'm not trying to be flippant about this, because sometimes people's dreams are quite realistic and they still fail catastrophically. It can be brutal. Maybe you did make a lot of good decisions and you suddenly got ill, or someone in your family did, and everything went to hell on you. It doesn't have to be because you've done something cardinally foolish that you fail. It's built into the structure of the world. It doesn't matter. You can also retreat into yourself and you can say something like, all right, I need to retool my conception of strategy, but also potentially my conception of goal. Maybe I'm looking in the wrong place. Maybe I have to look somewhere else. What did I do that wasn't as good as it could have been? And where did I fail to look so that the probability of my failure was higher? Now, to ask that question, you have to want the answer. That's what it means to knock or to ask or to seek. This is no joke. It's like you have to want to know. And it's a very painful thing to do, because especially if you had given it your all to the degree you were able, and you have reason to be bitter, you're going to be searching for the errors that you still made. And discovering your own errors is always extremely painful. And so you have to be willing to strip yourself down. That's what humility means fundamentally. But the advantage is, this is why it's so useful to listen to people. You might find out where you're stupid, and then you could stop being stupid. And so one of the reasons you confess your sins, let's say, is because you want to discover where you're insufficient. Now, it's painful. It's painful to encounter an impediment in the form of someone else's opinion that might show you where you're blind and ignorant, or willfully blind even. But the advantage to that is you can rectify the error, and then as you move forward, you're stronger. So there's a gospel statement that's very relevant to this. So Christ tells his followers that if they knock, the door will open. If they ask, they'll receive. And if they seek, they'll find.
Person and work and get to the top of whatever it is that you want to get to the top of. And stand up for yourself. Be a bit of a light on the world instead of a blight. And you can tell young people that, and they haven't been told that by anyone now. And yeah, it might. So why don't you go do it? That's what the damn universities were supposed to be teaching people, and they've forgotten that.
Realize that silence can be productive. Not every moment needs noise. Noise used to distract you from discomfort. Now you sit with it. Sitting builds awareness. Awareness improves control. Control strengthens discipline. Discipline creates stability. Stability reduces emotional swings. You don't ride every feeling anymore. Observation slows reaction. Slower reactions prevent damage. Breathe before speaking. You choose wisely.
You don't rush beginnings anymore. Rushed starts lead to weak foundations. Foundations matter more than speed. Speed impresses briefly. Stability lasts longer. You build slower. Now, slower feels intentional. Intention improves quality. Quality compounds over time. Time rewards consistency. Consistency shapes identity. Identity influences decisions. Decisions affect outcomes. You breathe and stay disciplined. You honor the process.
You've accepted that not everyone will understand your journey. Understanding isn't required for progress. Respect is earned through consistency. Consistency builds credibility. Credibility silences doubt. Doubt used to slow you down. Now it challenges you constructively. You respond with effort. Effort strengthens confidence. Confidence reduces hesitation. Hesitation fades with repetition. Repetition builds comfort with discomfort. You breathe calmly. You remain steady. You keep advancing. If you don't fail, you're not even trying. My wife told me this great expression. To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did.
Is that hard times create hard men. Hard men create soft times. Soft times create soft men. Soft men create hard times.
Les Brown's a motivational speaker. He made an analogy about this. He says, imagine you're on your deathbed, and standing around your deathbed are the ghosts representing your unfulfilled potential. The ghost of the ideas you never acted on. The ghost of the talents you didn't use. And they're standing around your bed, angry, disappointed, and upset. They say, we came to you because you could have brought us to life, they say. And now we have to go to the grave together. So I ask you today, how many ghosts are going to be around your bed when your time comes?
The hardest thing in life is figuring out who you are and what you want to do for the rest of your life. And once you figure that out, you wake up every day and you work toward it. It's impossible for you to fail if you know who you are, what you want to do, and you wake up every day and work toward it.
When I seen that Bentley at the boxing gym and I seen that diamond Rolex, I said, I want that. And I knew what it took. So I know when my opponent is asleep, I'm out there at 4 or 5 in the morning, chopping trees, working, to this day. Because I can retire today. I'm well off, very comfortable. But I got the will to win.
Stop chasing approval. Approval was unstable currency. It fluctuated with opinions. You chose internal standards instead. Standards require honesty. Honesty forced growth. Growth demanded sacrifice. Sacrifice clarified values. Values simplified decisions. Simple decisions reduce stress. Stress used to overwhelm you. Now it informs you. You listen without collapsing. Breathing keeps your center steady. Move from principle, not pressure.
You've stopped trying to control everything. Control created tension. Tension drained creativity. You learn to influence instead. Influence respects limits. Limits preserve energy. Energy improves output. Output becomes more precise. Precision builds credibility. Credibility strengthens trust. Trust opens opportunities. Opportunities require readiness. You prepare daily. Breathing steadies ambition. You move patiently.
You stopped expecting perfect timing. Perfect timing rarely exists. Preparation matters more. Preparation builds readiness. Readiness attracts opportunity. Opportunity rewards effort. Habit stabilizes discipline. Discipline sustains growth. Growth reshapes identity. Identity influences behavior. Behavior defines direction. Direction shapes life. You breathe deeply. You stay prepared.
Work, 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 work. No results, but I'm a little bit better. Work, 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 work. Work, 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 work. No results, but I'm a little bit better. Work, 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 work. No results, I'm a little bit better. Work. Boom.
Just got paid.
I just got paid. And it looks like overnight success.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, shit. It happened in a year. No, bro.
Sacrifice temporary fun for permanent dreams, or sacrifice your permanent dreams for temporary fun.
Those times when you get up early and you work hard. Those times when you stay up late and you work hard. Those times when you don't feel like working. You're too tired. You don't want to push yourself, but you do it anyway. That is actually the dream.
When they saw me in the gym in the pumping iron days, they said, why is it that you're working out so hard? 5 hours a day, 6 hours a day, and you have always a smile on your face. The others are working out just as hard as you do, and they look sour. And I told people all the time, I said, because to me, I'm shooting for a goal. In front of me is the Mr. Universe title. So every rep that I do gets me closer to accomplishing that goal, to make this goal, this vision turn into reality. Every single set that I do, every repetition, every weight that I lift will get me a step closer to turn this goal into reality. So I couldn't wait to do another 500-pound squat. I couldn't wait to do another 500-pound bench press. I couldn't wait to do another 2,000 reps of sit-ups. I couldn't wait for the next exercise.
We got to face adversity. Adversity breeds character. We have to be willing to go through hardship, through suffering, through pain, through crying periods. All of that stuff, don't shy away from any of that because it just makes you stronger. And I think today, a lot of times, our youth is so into kind of, oh, let's make him feel good. Oh, no, let's be more sensitive.
In life, folks, you cannot change your life unless you change something. If you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got.
What one great thing would you dare to dream if you knew you could not fail? If you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that you could not fail, what one thing would you set as a goal for yourself? What if you only had 6 months to live? What would you stop doing? What would you do more of? Who would you spend time with? Is what you really value? What is really important to you?
Interesting about being alive is that you're all in. No matter what you do, you're all in. This is going to kill you. So I think you might as well play the most magnificent game you can while you're waiting. Because do you have anything better to do? Really? Why not pick the best thing possible that you could do? Why not do that? Maybe you could justify your wretched existence to yourself that way. I think you could, because you're more powerful than you think. Way more powerful than you think. I mean, God only knows what you are in the final analysis. You're blind to your own weaknesses, but you're also blind to your own strengths. And then it would be better for the community. It's like, how far could you take that? If you stopped wasting time, and if you stopped lying, and if you oriented yourself to the highest possible good that you could conceive of, and you committed to that, how much good could you do? Well, I would say, well, you should be afraid of taking risks and pursuing something meaningful. But you should be more afraid of staying where you are if it's making you miserable. It's like the first thing you want to do is dispense with the idea that you get to have any permanent security outside of your ability to contend and adapt. It's the same issue with children. It's like you're paying a price by sitting there being miserable. And you might say, well, the devil I know is better than the one I don't. It's like, don't be so sure of that. The clock is ticking. Yeah, and if you're miserable in your job now and you change nothing, in 5 years you'll be much more miserable and you'll be a lot older.
What would have had to have happened in a week for you to look back on that week with pride? Okay, maybe stop breaking promises to yourself. When you say, I'm going to wake up tomorrow at 7 a.m., and when the option comes to hit the snooze button, don't do it. There's one win that you've got for the day. That's action.
Okay, well, like you get a job? Mm-hmm. Like when do you become a man? You become a man when you become responsible for other people. And part of that is taking accountability. Yep. And so like I'm very new to this being a man thing. And I'm still not there. That told me going to war made you a man. Going to prison and coming back makes you a man. Making $1 million makes you a man, you know, and it doesn't. And you don't know it till you've done all these things and realize, damn, I'm still a little fucking boy. Yeah. Or been around people who've been there a bunch of times.
Hard work is hard. Generally, most people don't like working hard. Some people do, but most people work hard in order to achieve some end goal. End goals are terrific and rewards are terrific, whether or not they are monetary, social, or any kind. However, working hard at something for sake of a reward that comes afterward can make the hard work much more challenging and make us much less likely to lean into hard work in the future. There's a classic experiment done actually at Stanford many years ago, in which children in nursery school and kindergarten drew pictures. And they drew pictures because they like to draw. The researchers took kids that like to draw and they started giving them a reward for drawing. The reward generally was a gold star or something that a young child would find rewarding. Then they stopped giving them the gold star, and what they found is the children had a much lower tendency to draw on their own. You don't fear hard conversations anymore. Avoidance used to cost you peace. Now you choose clarity over comfort. Clarity strengthens relationships. It also ends some. Endings used to scare you. Now you understand alignment matters more. Alignment creates stabilities. Focus improves execution. Execution builds results. Results reinforce confidence. You breathe before you speak. Remain calm under pressure.
You learn to respect boredom. Boredom often hides mastery. Mastery requires repetition. Repetition requires patience. Patience requires humility. Humility keeps ego in check. Ego wants rushed decisions. Now you evaluate first. Evaluation reduces regret. Regret used to linger. Now it teaches briefly. You don't dwell unnecessarily. You adapt and move forward. Breathing remains steady. You remain consistent.
You learned that frustration is energy. Energy can destroy or build. You decided to build. Building required focus. Focus demanded sacrifice. Sacrifice removed distractions. Distractions used to comfort you. Now they feel expensive. Expensive habits cost time. Time became valuable. Valuable time changed your priorities. Priorities shaped your discipline. Discipline created progress. You breathed through irritation. You converted into movement.